I wanted to talk about the tattoo preservation process. Also, my cat is up there, so if you see him. Um, I was watching, I think her name is Angelica or Angelica. Real AF Sports Mom is the handle. She talked about how her husband died and she got a lot of judgment for preserving his tattoos. So I want to share some stories in different levels, and we get progressively more emotional and triggering as we get on. So just fair warning, trigger warning for the last story. But I wanted to share some stories that I hope will help people kind of understand why this might be a thing people would want. So, first of all, my grandfather had tattoos from the Navy. I didn't know him without his tattoos. I also didn't get to see my grandfather very often. So, his tattoos to me are like a core part of his person, because I didn't really get to know his personality all that much. I have his dog tag, I wear it. And so, just like that, his tattoo preservation probably would have been a memento and help the grieving process. So that's more of a lighthearted, like kind of end of life kind of thing. My second story is for my own tattoos. My partner and I got Triforces to symbolize our engagement. We hadn't even really formally announced the engagement to anyone. This was years ago. But this was for us a very private statement of that. He has Link's Triforce and I have Zelda's. I would love for that to be preserved. My flower tattoo, the leather flower, the clematis, ivy, and forget-me-nots all have florography symbolism in relationships. This tattoo symbolizes my relationship with my partner. Yoshi, you can scare people. Um, and all of my tattoos have very deep personal meaning to me. I would love if anybody wanted to preserve any of them, but those two have the most meaning, as well as this one, which I'm going to get into the very triggering story now. And this is difficult. Unaliving is a theme, so if that's triggering for you, I also wrote about it in my blog. If a written format is easier for y'all, it's a blog from years ago. You'd have to look up Zek Whitby. It's a tough thing. There's a link in there to a note that he wrote. I don't know if the note is still there, but if it is, you can read it. So I'm going to go into the story. So leave now if this is triggering. This tattoo was done with 300 people at an event after Zek unalived himself. We raised money for his family to do the transition, and everybody got one of these trees that was like what you got for showing up, paying the money, all of that. A lot of us donated extra funds because we didn't come for a tattoo, we came for Zek. And I am going to take this moment to share a message that Zek wanted people to know. It was in his final note, so I think it would be only fair to share it as I share his story. He wanted people to get help. If you are struggling, please get help. Please talk to your loved ones. Please talk to a professional. One of the artists at the gathering said, "Damn, Zek, if you wanted us to spend time together, all you had to do was ask. If you wanted people to get together, all you had to do was ask." Zek wanted nothing more than for people to be happy and be taken care of, and for him to help other people, because he knew what it felt like to suffer. So that's the portion where I say, please get help if you're suffering, because that's all he wanted. So to get into the deeper part of the story about my partner's tattoo. So again, I share this tattoo with over 300 people. They're all a little different. This one was done with Zek's tattoo gun by his partner. So that means so much to me. If Zek's partner sees this, thank you. It means a lot to me every day. I'm so proud to wear it on my skin. So, but my partner, we initially went to see Zek. We went for our other tattoos, but Zek in particular understood why my partner may want to cover his scars on his arm, and had understood the mental health implications of covering them and the improvement that could make. So he worked on a couple trees and then said, "I'm going to finish the sleeve, I'm going to finish the art, and we'll do the rest of it all at one time." So that was our plan. The art was already done when Zek made his successful attempt. So I shouldn't say it like that. It's not a success. It's a devastation. But, yeah. So, after everything, the grieving process, we went in again. And I was planning this tattoo with Zach's partner. Again, this was done by her. Wonderful woman. And my partner had said, I never got to finish this sleeve. Could we do something else? Could someone in the shop take care of me and do a sleeve for me to cover my scars? And in all of her shining glory, Zach's partner said, I can do your sleeve with his art. And that meant so much. As someone outside of this process, I'm emotional about it. So that should tell you all how much this means to the people who are getting the tattoo. To have his art posthumously placed on my partner's body was such an honor to Zach. Zach would have been overjoyed to find that after his death, his art could still help someone heal. And for his partner, I can't describe the amount of pain that must have put her through to put that art on his arm. And she did it because she loved Zach and because she loved us enough to see the healing that would give to my partner. And so she did it. It took way longer than the actual tattooing because she needed a lot of breaks. But so I tell you guys this story to explain that the labor of love that sleeve was for so many people, for multiple people in this process. To have it burned or buried feels like a crime. A crime. So if you guys see someone who is talking about preserving their loved ones' tattoos, please know that can be for many reasons. From as simple as that's how I knew them and it would be a beautiful memento to aid in my grieving and that person has consented, to this was a emotional process for so many people and it would feel wrong to destroy them. So there's lots of reasons people might do that, and I think the only person's opinion that matters is the person whose tattoos they wear. I don't think it's fair to be judging someone who's grieving and processing the death of a loved one to tell them that they're wrong for how they grieved when the person who died already agreed to that process. That's my personal opinion. So, but I hope this helps. I hope this tells you guys a bit more about what tattoos can mean to people in a lot of different layers. And yeah, again, I want to press the message of if you are struggling, please reach out to your loved ones or a professional, or do something that brings you peace. Go help others. I know for myself, for Zach, and for other people I've met, helping others has helped us all with that mindset so much. So I would say volunteer work was probably the most healing for me, and I've talked to others who said the same. So if you're struggling and you don't know who to go out and talk to, volunteer. Also, meetings for addicts, even if you've never been an addict, are a nice place to meet people who understand struggle. So those are my 2 suggestions if you're like, I don't have anyone to talk to and I don't trust professionals. For some other ways. I have to put the disclaimer on the end of this that if you comment in my comment section, I'm going to do what I can to connect you with a professional. Fair warning. Because I feel that that's important. And I am not a therapist. I cannot have these conversations with you guys. It would not be healthy or safe. So, but I do hope this helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. And again, please seek help if you need it.